Greetings, everyone. I hope everyone had a great New Year's. When we last stopped off, we had just got done installing Ubuntu onto our virtual machine, or your machine. So, we shall continue. So, first thing you need to do is power on your machine. Bam! We're going to go to So, enter in your password after your machine boots up, of course. So, you'll be greeted with this screen, or if you chose a different distro, it might look something different. So, what I like to do after I do a fresh install of a system is tell this to go away for a minute. What this is just your welcome menu. It allows you to start by installing software. You can go here and use a software boutique. Different distros call it different things. Some just literally just call it software, so on and so forth. This is the easy way to install programs. So like your Steam, if you like a different calculator. If you didn't install LibreOffice, it allows you to install LibreOffice. Just point and click, install, so on and so forth. But we're not going to use this right now. We're going to try something a little different. So, to update, there's a couple different ways to update. What you can do is go here to Software Updater. And it's going to check for updates. Could take a little while. Depending on how fast your computer is. If you have an SSD, it just go or in your internet speed, of course. So we're just going to wait for this to finish. The reason you want to do this is you want to keep your system up to date. The beautiful thing about Linux is it updates everything for you with one pop, unlike Windows, which updates the OS and you got to manually update everything. This one will update and keep everything update with just one simple press of the button, or as we're going to see later, terminal commands. So we're going to stop this for now, because this isn't what I was wanting to show. So the easy way to do it is you can hit Control Alt and T, and that brings up what's called terminal. Anyway, so what we're doing, sudo apt update. Can't type today. So, as you can see, we got 203 packages to update. Sudo apt upgrade. Now it's going to show you everything that can be upgraded on this system, which is quite a little bit. So we're going to hit yes, and we're going to let that work. So now that that's all done, your system is fully up to date. You can run this as little or as much as you want to. If there's nothing to update, it'll just send you back this message. All packages are up to date. That means you have nothing to do, so you're done with that. So the other way to do that would be to go to Software Updater. And it's going to check, and it needs to be restarted. So we're going to restart. That happened after we downloaded everything. Evidently there was a kernel update. So we're going to restart. And generally the only reason you have to restart your computer when you do this update is if there's a kernel update or you do a graphic card update. You'll want to restart it so that way it's loaded with the latest and greatest. Just makes life a little easier. Now if on that screen, if the software updater, let me go back to it real quick. If it actually had something to do, it would say that there was, like right here, there would be like, oh hey, there's a bunch of updates, and you hit update. So with this, you got your file manager, this Kaja. You are able to change this if you don't like this particular setup. There are several different versions of these. I like Kaja. I think that's how you say it. But choice is yours. You can change it. I'll demonstrate that in a later video. That's a little higher end. So, something else you can do. So, click on software and updates. This is super important stuff. This is all your repositories that you have access to. As you install more and more programs, they will install different repositories, and those are responsible for updating your system. Just leave that be. Now, additional drivers. Now, this is where you can update your driver. I am currently using a VMware. We're not going to change any of that because there's really nothing to change there. But say like I go to my computer and I go to additional drivers, which you can get to that from the main menu, just right there, or type additional drivers in up here. And as you can see, Ubuntu right out of the box will display different drivers for your current graphic card. I have a GTX 1070. I have all these different options for different drivers. You can change these willy-nilly. All you gotta do is click on it and it will install a different driver. It looks like I have an update, 440. I tend to wait to update my drivers. I get kind of goofy responses sometimes upgrading, but you can. It's not that big of a deal, so you just click on it. Now the difference between the drivers, see how these say open source and this says proprietary. This one's actually from NVIDIA. These are community built drivers. So sometimes you'll get better results from proprietary. Most of the time you get better results from proprietary, but the open source is starting to get a little better. Now if you're using an AMD use only open source drivers. Don't use proprietary. I've heard you get a lot better results running that. So back to this. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can change. You can change your login window. You can change the background to whatever background you want it to be. Pretty nice, pretty nice. You can change the theme. You can change it to black matte icon theme, so on and so forth. Very user changeability. Of course, you got your networks. You can choose which network you're using. Software update, the welcome center, your displays. This is where you can go and change your display. Make tweaks. This is where you can change how your desktop looks. You can change it from familiar to any of these. Change it to mutiny if you want. See how that changed it over here? That moved the top bar over here. You can change it to Pantheon, which gives you a more gives you a more Mac feel to it. You got these down here. And you still got your drop down up here. Change it to traditional, which gives you your drop down. But as you can see, the drop down changed a little bit. You got your places, your home folders, some stuff like that. So, just some of the things you can do once you get into it. So, installing software. There are two methods to installing software. Well, three, technically. First thing you can do is go to software and install it from the Software Boutique, or different distros, just Software Center. And this is kind of like the Windows Store or Mac Store. In fact, you can download any of these just with a simple point and click. So say like you wanted to download, let's say you wanted to download in Chrome. So you hit install, come up here and hit apply changes. Now that isn't for all distros. Some distros you just click and it installs it for you. Some of them it asks for permissions, so on and so forth. Like this one's going to ask for permission. It always asks for permission. So there we go. Installation is complete. Chrome is installed. So if we come over here, Chrome, bam. We now have a Chrome launcher. Bam, got Chrome. So another way to install is through terminal. You can install just about any piece of software through the terminal. So let me indulge you. So if you wanted to search for a particular package on the app store, type app search, let's say Steam. So as you can see, it come up with these entries right here. Well, we got whole bunches of stuff we can download. So what you're gonna have to do is gonna have to read through it and find what you want to install. Well, we want to install for Steam. You want to install the Steam installer. That's what you want to get. Something else to look at. See, that says Bionic. You don't want to install anything for an older or newer. You always want to use whatever you're using. We're using Bionic. So what you want to do is type sudo apt install. So basically how this breaks down is your sudo gives you like administrator permissions. It temporarily elevates your status to root user. Apt is the repository we're taking from. Install is you're wanting to install it, and Steam installer is what we're actually wanting to install. So once you hit enter, you type your password in, super secret password. Type yes because you want to install it. And bada bing, bada boom, you're installed. So now you can either type Steam into here to launch Steam, or you can come up here and launch it from up here. See, it's going to check for updates. We're not going to update it. I got a very limited hard drive space. So going along with installing programs, if there's a program that you installed that you no longer want or you no longer need, what you can do is you can remove it from the terminal line as well. So we installed Steam. So say like you don't want Steam for some odd reason. Sudo apt, so we're elevating to the root privilege. Apt for where we're looking. Remove Steam. So what this will do is it will remove Steam, and if you click yes, it will remove all this stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and click yes, or Y for yes, and just let it uninstall, and then try to run Steam. There's nothing there. So let's say for giggles, you find something in the app You can't find it in the app, in the terminal. You can't find it in the software center. What do you do if you want to install a program? It's not there. So with VirtualBox, I'm pretty sure VirtualBox is there, but let's just say for sake of argument it's not. So you download it. Make sure you get your right distro, because if you download a distro for Red Hat and you're on Ubuntu, it's not going to work very well. It's going to be like, ah. Same way with OpenSUSE and whatnot. So we're running a Ubuntu 18.04. Now it's important that you remember what distro you download. It is very important to remember what distro you installed. So we went ahead and downloaded it. So it's right here. So if it has this deb extension, all you gotta do is right click and hit open with gdeb install package installer and let it boot up. Hit install package. Type in your super secret user password. Bada bing, bada boom, it's there. Now from here, yeah, of course, you can uninstall the package or remove the package. Remove package means delete. Reinstall is, of course, reinstall. And that about wraps it up. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something today. Stay tuned for my next videos. They shall be coming shortly. Take care.